team work with training centers now. From those who are joining the army to those who are going to Chankwanzi, they must know how to deal with the media. So I am confident that in the next few years we should see these young cadres coming out knowing how to deal with the media, not thinking that if you don't like what they are reporting, you should clobber them, which is really abysmal. We don't support that. I think my last comment will be, no, I've covered it all, but let's work together. There are people in the media. When I joined journalism, I was in first year at university, incidentally. I was in England then, and I was a reporter. It's made me want to be a journalist, but I didn't have qualifications at that time. So I don't like this idea that for you to work at Parliament or where you should have a degree, so long as you have basic training and you are being mentored. So we are also petitioning and lobbying behind the scenes that there should be some reasonable kind of, things that you do, but not saying that for everyone to practice, they must have a degree. So we want to continue working well with the media, and you should know that we are on your side because most of us who are government journalists are professional journalists. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we give him some love? As a journalist, I know that there are two sides of the story. So it's also important that we listen to you. Well, interesting panel that came, that was here. Can we also give them a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, the stories that you heard are from people who have witnessed and lived these experiences. Looking at Irene walking with, it's heartbreaking, right? And she'll have to live with that for quite a while. And I had my colleague Namakumbi saying that compensation cannot be enough to cater for what they have gone through. The problem we have with this country is that we pretend to move on very fast. It was a story yesterday, we move on. We're now talking about birthdays. And we forget easily the things that happened yesterday. And that people who commit these atrocities, many of them walk away. And they hide behind their armors and walk away with it. Sometimes they are relocated and sent to places like Karamoja. They disguise them, and because we forget very fast, the next time they are back at their duty stations. Issues of accountability, holding these people to account. I think it's a role as well for investigative journalism. I think that it is important that we use available footage and available pictures taken to name and shame these people. And the Daily Monitor had started a very good initiative of putting these people out. Their faces on front page. This is the person who beat up this person. And they are held individually accountable. Because you see, right now we're putting all this under the umbrella of security forces, UPDF, Uganda Police Force. Clearly, when we pinpoint out these people, and it's good that government put their name tags on their uniforms, and we use available footage and freeze a frame and zoom in and say, this person is called Serwanja. Who is Serwanja? When did he join the forces? Where was he deployed? What has been his track record? In this footage, he's actually seen pulling the trigger and shooting at Ashraf. As I speak, Ashraf is not in this country, So I believe that it is our role as journalists to just do a little bit of investigative journalism and put these people out openly, put their faces on front pages. And I know Joseph was talking about we not covering ourselves. I think that should stop. I think that we need to have a role and duty as media to actually expose the people who do these atrocities. Well, that's just me talking, not the MC. Let me get back my jacket on. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Miss Anna Merrifield, who is the Deputy Head of the EU, to please come and give us her remarks because she's our chief guest. And later on, we will be launching the report. Miss Anna, you're very welcome. Thank you for gracing this occasion.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'd like to first of all thank both of the excellent moderators we've had and the very interesting panel. I've followed with great interest the debate. I'm really pleased to be with you here this morning, moving to afternoon already. My sincere thanks to Mr. Sempala and the Human Rights Network for Journalists Uganda for the kind invitation to say a few words and to launch the report. As it is every year, the launch of this annual Press Freedom Index report is a very important occasion. It's important for two reasons. First of all, it provides an opportunity to reflect on the state of press freedom in the previous year through documenting violations, but also noting the progress made. I can say that as a diplomat, we do take this documentation, we use it as a very important tool when we have dialogues, then, for example, with the government. Second, the launch of this report is a chance to remind ourselves of the importance for all societies of a free press and to remain vigilant in the defense of the fundamental right to freedom of expression. We know that the extent to which a state protects freedom of expression is a good indicator of its overall commitment to democracy. As we have seen in Russia over the recent years, a dramatically declining respect for free press, free speech, attacks and killings of journalists, and the shutdown of basically all independent media there has accompanied that state's descent into complete authoritarianism. Without the safeguard of a watchdog in the form of a vibrant and protected media, Russia has descended into outright war in Ukraine. An unprovoked and unjustified war, which ironically the media isn't even allowed to call a war. Moving back to Uganda, if I may, please allow me a few minutes to mention some of the recent trends that were highlighted in this report. And thank you, Mr. Sempala, for presenting the key findings earlier to us. As the report describes, 2021 was another challenging year for journalists in Uganda. It began with the many challenges brought by the elections in January, not least the complete shutdown of the internet for 5 days. Of course, robust journalism was practiced here a long time before the advent of the internet, but we all know that the information ecosystem has nowadays become inextricably intertwined with cyberspace. Without it, access to information and the basic mechanisms of reporting become extremely difficult, particularly for modern media. We all know that journalists here in Uganda are a very resilient bunch, you all are. I was impressed on the election day itself to hear stories of journalists actually typing reports on their computers and then burning them on CDs and physically delivering copies of these reports on bodas to media houses so that the news could be reported and we could all be informed of what's happening. While this is commendable, there's no doubt that the closure of the internet in this period did huge damage to the media's ability to comprehensively and accurately report on what happened in the country during election day and overall the elections. The absence of scrutiny by the media caused by the internet shutdown can only serve to damage public confidence in the democratic process. The EU does not support internet shutdowns. We acknowledge that the internet and social media can often be abused with hate speech and incitement to violence online, some of the biggest challenges facing democracies today. But shutting down the internet on the whole or a part of it, or blocking down access to globally used social media sites such as Facebook is not the answer to these problems. Another aspect highlighted in this report is the continued pattern of physical attacks on journalists. We've heard quite a lot about that, and really shocking, gruesome reports. Let's be under no illusion. Beating a journalist for merely doing their job is a criminal offense, and there can never be any kind of justification for it. The assault by the members of the UPDF on journalists outside of the office of the UN Human Rights Office in Kololo on 17th of February last year has been rightly condemned by many stakeholders in the country. And we welcome the swift disciplinary action taken by the UPDF against the soldiers involved. However, we've also noted, and we also now heard from Ms. Namakumbi, that the commanding officer of that operation escaped sanction. We also fully support the calls that we heard earlier from Mr. Sampala when you were presenting the report, that the UPF should also be more transparent about the disciplinary processes that the police officers have faced in this context. This leads me to the issue of impunity. According to UNESCO, 140 journalists have been killed in African countries in the last 10 years alone. This is almost double the number killed in the previous decades. Killings of journalists are also on the increase in Europe as well. 16 journalists were killed in the European Union member states in the last 10 years, up from 5 killed in the 10 years before that. Despite this very alarming trend, only a handful of these cases have in some way been resolved by the courts, and not all of these have resulted in a conviction of the perpetrators. Thankfully, Uganda has not witnessed the killing of a journalist for 10 years. However, assaults resulting in serious injuries have continued. For example, Ashraf Kasirye from Ghetto TV during the election campaign. And we heard that it's not only physical injuries, there's also psychological long-term damage from these assaults. Let us not forget that lives have been also lost here in the past in Uganda. I want to take this opportunity to remember the killings of journalists Amon Tembo Wamupagasia in 2012 and Dixon Sentongo and Paul Kigungu in 2010. According to UNESCO, their killings remain unresolved as of today. In some of the recent discussions that I've been part of, there seems to be a somewhat strange debate about what impunity means. So let me be very clear. As far as we are concerned, impunity means that people who commit crimes or direct other people to commit crimes are not held to account and are not convicted and punished in line with the laws. And as it was mentioned, whether there's compensation or not, it doesn't resolve the issue of impunity. For the crimes against journalists that we've discussed today, impunity remains a serious problem here in Uganda. Last November, the EU and UNESCO National Commission for Uganda organized an event to highlight this problem. We were pleased that this event produced a robust debate on this topic, including frank exchanges between journalists who have been attacked during the election campaign and representatives of the security services, who unfortunately are not here today. At that event, the police force representative acknowledged that there was room for improvement and spoke about the commitment of the security services to uphold and protect the rights of journalists in Uganda. He also called for mutual understanding between the security services and journalists. In his closing remarks, the Minister of State for National Guidance said that the door of the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance was open to dialogue with journalists on the subject of impunity. 6 months later, I hope that these words have been acted upon and that we are moving towards a more meaningful debate on the topic of impunity, and that the report that you will launch a year from now will look better. We also hope that others, importantly prosecutors and the judiciary, can be brought on board in these discussions. The EU stands ready to support such processes. And please do rest assured that the EU delegation and the member states, we regularly and consistently raise the issue of impunity and freedom of speech with representatives of the government and also with the regulators. As pointed out earlier by Solomon Serwanja, the perpetrators, they actually have names. The Press Freedom Index report also highlights the need for legal reforms related to the media in Uganda. Provisions of the Penal Code, as well as more recent legislation, have been used to charge journalists with offences, in the process very narrowly defining the boundaries of legitimate expression and journalism in this country. While it's for Ugandan lawmakers to decide on these matters, due regard should be given to strengthening access to information, media freedom, the right to privacy, and personal data protection in line with international standards. It's also worth recalling Uganda's commitment under international human rights treaties, including the strong protection for freedom of expression in the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, to which Uganda is a state party. We heard earlier on the panel about another challenge to the media sector here in Uganda, and this is also very much linked to free press, which is the issue of capacity and resources. I think we all know that these issues have been made worse by the whole change in the media globally, moving on to online, and also made worse by COVID-19. Tackling these challenges requires a genuinely multi-stakeholder approach involving journalists themselves, media owners, legislators, and regulators. Journalists must, of course, be paid decently for their work. And we support the calls for continued support to skilling and professionalization of the media industry through regular training and capacity building. This is work that the European Union has supported for many years, including through the Democratic Governance Facility and our other recent collaborations with local partners to boost capacity for conflict-sensitive journalism and for investigative journalism. We look forward to exploring opportunities for future support, including tackling emerging challenges, for example, combating of disinformation through improving online literacy and strengthening fact-checking. There's much to be done, but we also recognize that the media sector in Uganda remains vibrant, innovative, and resilient. I enjoy following the Ugandan media every day, and I'd like to salute the great work that's being done across the media space here and encourage all the journalists to keep up the excellent work, even if sometimes in very challenging and discouraging circumstances. Let me conclude by once again thanking the Human Rights Network for journalists and the organizers of this event, and congratulate you on this very good and useful report. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to formally launch, I believe, or not yet quite, I'm about to launch the annual Press Freedom Index report for 2022. Thank you.
Another round of applause to Anna Merrifield, Deputy Head of the EU Delegation. Thank you very much. Ma'am, you're going to be launching. So we're just going to get the black here. May I invite the ushers to bring in the black, please? Oh, can we stand up and just maybe appreciate these ladies who are bringing it, but also get ready to have the launch of the report. Thank you. We can maybe put it here in front. Can we maybe put it in front here? Let me invite Mr. Sempala to come and take us through the launch process. Mr. Sempala, you're welcome.
Thank you indeed very much. This is the occasion, this is the moment we all have been waiting for. And Madam Anna, thank you indeed for staying back to perform this very honorable function for us of launching the report. Madam Anna, I'll invite you to step forward in there. I will also kindly invite a few people to join you to launch along with you. One of them is Dr. Dondrokale. Kindly, Dr. Dondrokale, Head of Party, Freedom House, kindly step forward too. Dr. Sylvia Namubiru, please follow another doctor. It's a game of the doctors. Please step forward as well. We have Dr. Adolf Mbaine in the house. Dr. Adolf Mbaine from Makerere University. If you are around, please step forward. I'm going to only invite a few people. The rest I'm going to issue with special copies. Can I invite my board chairperson, Mr. Julius Esegu, to equally step forward and perform the launch function. Mr. Julius Esego, on behalf of the Board of Directors of HRNJ, Madam Margaret Sentam, the ED of WUMA, kindly step forward as well to join in the launch. Madam Tabitha Netua from Defenders, where is, okay, she is within, okay. And the ladies said they need to balance with another man, and this one is none other than Malcolm Pamizo. Malcolm Pamizo is one of our strategic partners. He doesn't speak anywhere, but he has accepted to step forward. Malcolm, thank you indeed. They have supported HRNJ from inception to date. And because of space, I would really have loved to have many of you right here. But let me also add one more person who is a lady, the state attorney, Madam Jackie Achao. Please step forward and help us perform this function. Where is Rosemary Kemigisha? I am Rosemary Kemigisha from the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Please step forward and join this team. We invited the police. Our colleagues from UCC were invited, and our colleagues from the UPDF, unfortunately, they have not been able to make it right here. And as such, I will let the signing begin. And later, I'll issue a special copy to each of the people here present. So you did part of the emceeing, so it doesn't end with the microphone. The first one, okay, each of them should receive. And the deputy head of the European Union, please, you're going to sign on to this report. They are going to follow you. Please, the function is going to be performed by signing on to this very important report of ours for the year 2021, and there will have launched the report, and there she is, signs on to the report, and it is launched. That is media shutdowns and shutouts. I will next invite, where is Dr. Donald? Please step forward and sign right behind me. Yes, that's Dr. Donald Dirukale, the head of, chief of party of Freedom House, one of our development partners. Then I will invite Dr. Sylvia Namubiru, the executive director of LASPNet, to come and perform this duty. I will invite my board chairperson. If I invite him last, you know what might happen to us here. So please step forward and sign. Mr. Julius Esego, our very dedicated, formidable, and all present board chair. Thank you very much. Madam Sentam Wumwa, the ED, she's been around and guided us in so many things. We really appreciate you a lot. And we thank you for that signature, endorsing the report. Mr. Malcolm Pamizo, this is the very first time I think all of you are seeing him anywhere, but he has always graced all our reports. Thank you for accepting to step forward to grace this occasion. And thanks for supporting the Human Rights Network for Journalists Uganda. Then the Uganda Human Rights Commission, the National Human Rights Institute, entity in Uganda, Rosemary Kemigisha, our friend. She's always with us. Thank you. She was among the first people to get into this room. And I'll have the state attorney. When media issues cross your path, you know. We love you. Yes, don't. And finally, where is my MC for the day? Solomon Serwanja. Please come and sign on to this. So, yes, where are the pens? Where are the owners? Beyanga, on behalf of NAB, please step forward. And let me also have the Media Center of Uganda. Benz, where is he? Please come and sign on to the report. Thank you for indeed those very good insights that you gave to us. Thank you so much. Where are the copies? For each of the people that have signed here, I want to give a copy to each of them. Where are my copies? Because this one will not be taken away. Can I now invite a representative from the Daily Monitor? Representative from the Daily Monitor, please step forward and sign. Representative from the Vision Group, step forward and sign. And I'm going to issue a report to each of the people here present. Yes? Thank you. This is how the report looks like. Yes. Please look at it both at the back and the front. It looks the same as the one that has been signed. Where is my lady, Charity Mbisiwe? Please step forward and sign on to this report. Charity is around. Dr. Dondo Khalad and seen you. Where is Madame Sylvia Nancha? Madame Sylvia Nancha is the secretary of the Guild, Editors Guild of Uganda. She has graced this occasion. Madame Sylvia Nancha, a person I've known since my senior 3. You can estimate some age there. It's okay. And now, let me invite Beyanga, everybody that has been mentioned. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have launched our report, the Press Annual Freedom Index for the year 2021, and I'm giving out special copies. I will kindly ask Madam Anna to give a copy to each of the people I'm inviting. Please flash this one. Whoever has got a copy, come and flash it for our records. A copy. If you want to flash a copy, we're also going to give you. You can flash anytime. You take it away. Thank you indeed, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll ask Madam Anna to stay behind to give just copies to these people that I'm reading out. Halima Huthman of Voice of America, please step forward for a copy. Madam Halima Huthman. Serwanja, you're going to help me. I've discharged this team. Thank you indeed for stepping forward to launch. Thank you. You're always most welcome. Always grateful to you. Okay. Whoever read your name, please step forward for a special copy. Madam Halima Uthman, Mr. James Sinkubi. Mr. James Sinkubi. Andrew Yirumba, he heads the Journalists Online. Thank you for those submissions. Yirumba, a copy. Please extend a copy for Yirumba. Our consultant, Jean Namoga. Where are you, Jean? She was the brain behind. Yeah. Please come. This was part of the brains together with Dr. Dan Ngabirano behind the compilation of our report. And then J.B. Waswa, Professor, where are you? J.B. Waswa, he told me he was rushing somewhere. Irene Abalo Otto, J.B. Waswa is here. You needed to sign this report and also receive one. But all the panelists, where are you, wherever you are, please step forward for a copy, special copy, and even a signing of this report. The panelists, Irene Abalo, Henry Sekanjako, John Cliff Wamala, please step forward and sign on to this. And Councillor Chiku, please step forward for a copy. Josephine Namakumbi has incidentally, please sign on to the report. Where is Paul Chiria from ACTV, that a team that has done tremendously well to rehabilitate people that have undergone torture. Please, Paul Chiria, step forward. Peterson Kareire. Peterson Kareire has stood the test of time in stamping his feet down and fighting for press freedom. He has been in the dock. He was detained in Comunicado. He has torture marks on his body for writing what he went to school for. Alternative Digital TV. Please step forward for a copy and also sign on to this. All those guys, the media house was arrested and they held in Comunicado for close to 2 weeks, but they are still very firm. Though they are still idle, they haven't resumed work because their gadgets were confiscated. Carlton Scovia Nakamia from BBS, where are you? Herbert from the Unwanted Witness. Where is my brother Herbert? Please take a copy to Madame Dora Mukasa for doing a tremendous job. Where is the Media Challenge Initiative, the team behind our branding? Ivan Chimulichigozi. These guys are just too good. Thank you for having all this happen this way. Please step forward for a copy. Rita Kemigisa, KFM. Please step forward for a copy. Rita Kemigisa for the KFM team. And Chiengo David for CBS. Please step forward for one copy. Mwebesa Andrew from a lawyer from Kiza and Wexiga Advocates. Oh, you're welcome, Council. Namateka Sebo. Thank you so much for coming. Nakanjako Juliet from Hiraf. I can't see you. Nakanjako from Hiraf. And Dennis Katunji, you already have gotten a copy for yourself. Charity MBC, we've gotten a copy. And Diana Chibuka, where are you to receive a copy for CBS? Diana Chibuka, one of our own. And Madam, I want to give everyone, almost everyone, but I don't want to keep you for too long. But I will kindly request you to give to all the members of our board. Please step forward, all the members of our board. Kanyere, our new treasurer, Jane, Watango, my OG, Moses, Kalumba, Ronald, Abdulatif, Mukasa, Jackie Namboga from the land of Amaido, and then Kembo Zida, Amaido Gamama, my Bochea, the Secretary General, Henry Ruburwa, Eden Tamale, all of you, thank you. You do an amazing job for all of us. So for those that have not